Hey mamas, you are listening to the Motherhood is Ghetto podcast. We all know motherhood can be a beautiful thing, but girl, it can also be ghetto. Join me as we discuss some of the best and worst parts of being a mom raising kids, all while trying to figure out this thing called life. This ghetto is a safe space, mamas. So welcome to the hood. Hey mamas, welcome back to another episode of Motherhood is Ghetto. My name is Joy, and how y'all doing out there? If y'all doing all right, you already know what to say. Say amen. I pray you're having a great day and a great week so far. And y'all, I just want to talk to y'all for a little bit, for a little minute. Amen. If you guys didn't know, I mentioned it in a previous episode, but if you didn't know, your girl turned 40 recently. I had a birthday in June and I turned 40 years old. So I wanted to do an episode just kind of reflecting on how I feel, some realizations that I've come to as I've been approaching 40 and now that I am 40, some things that I've learned about myself, what I've learned about me as a mom, um, and just reflections on being alive for the last 40 years. um, One thing that I can say is that I feel truly blessed to be alive. Amen. Um, Also too, it's kind of like a bittersweet milestone for me because whereas I'm happy and I'm so grateful to be alive and I'm grateful that I've gotten 40 years on this earth and have been able to experience the things that I've been able to experience, like being a mom and being a wife and doing all the things that I feel like now that I've always wanted to do and really following my heart and my dreams. So that's a plus. But also too, as I was approaching 40 and now that I am 40, I say it's bittersweet because my life looks so much different than what I thought it would. A lot of ways in a good way. And in some ways not so good. Like I never pictured going into my 40s without my dad or without my brother. And it's really bittersweet because my brother passed away before he turned 40. So just knowing that that's my big brother and he didn't make it that far and now I've surpassed him in age, you know, it's kind of crazy to me to think about. And also too, I never thought that I would be entering my 40s as a widow, raising kids by myself. So that alone, kind of it's like a punch to the gut. But despite all that, this last few months for me have really been a great time in my life and will have like a special place in my heart because so many great things have happened for me. So many blessings have come into my life and I couldn't be more happier. So 40 is an interesting chapter and I know that it will continue to be filled with lots of love and happiness and blessings. Also, too, I know that I may have to come across some obstacles here and there, but I feel more prepared going into this new chapter of my life than I've ever felt in any of the previous chapters. I feel more clear in my mind and I feel like I have more direction, if that makes sense, as to where I want to be, where I want to go, how I'm going to do it. And I really like that. I like that for me because I feel like I've spent a lot of my adult life just kind of like stumbling through it with no real plan, no real vision, and just kind of like going with the flow on things and whatever happens, happens type of attitude. But I know that I've said it in previous episodes that I've always been like the type of person where I'm just not prepared for anything. And I was doing my best to make sure that I am prepared for things going forward, whatever they may be. So I feel like I've done a good job with that over the last 5 years. I feel like I've really pushed myself to actually like do the things that are necessary to make sure that I'm as prepared that I can be for certain things and situations. And some other things that I've come to the realization of as I turn 40 is I really don't I have a very low tolerance for BS. But I feel like when I was younger, I like kind of like brushed off things and was like, "Oh, it's okay. Like it's no worries." But nah, now it is worries. Now it's all worries and and I just have a low tolerance for anything that doesn't make sense to me, feels like you're trying to get over, like I just don't like it and I don't have time for it. And I will be quick to remove myself from any situation where I feel like I'm being played or I feel like it's not the best thing for me. I'm not entertaining anything that doesn't serve the greater good of me because I know who I am and I know me and I know that whatever I'm doing, if it's something, if I'm doing it by myself or with somebody else, when it comes to my relationships, my friends, like I give my all. So if I feel like that's not being returned to me or like people are trying to get over on me or play with me, that's a problem. And I know that that should be like a given for a lot of people, but for me, it wasn't. And I feel like I've stepped more into my confidence in who I am, so that way I can assert myself in that way. Um, so it's been a long time coming. Amen. It's been a long time coming for that. Also, too, as I turned 40, I started to realize that I'm more aware of what I want and the fact that I won't allow any interference of me getting to it. Like I'm so clear about what I want, y'all. Like I don't know how any other way to describe it. It's just I'm so clear on what I want and the vision for my life, more so than I've ever been. And I don't know if it's because I turned 40 or I'm like kind of like at the the middle point of my life, hopefully. Amen. Hopefully, hopefully I live 40 plus more years. But I'm just really crystal clear on what it is that I want. And I'm not willing to let anything or anyone interfere with me getting to that vision that I have for my life. And I feel like over the years I've kind of pieced it together and curated, the perfect life for me or the close to perfect life for me. And now that I can see it, now that I can visualize it, I'm not finna let anyone stop me from getting to it. So that's one thing that I've come to realize. I've also realized too that I cannot get comfortable. I gotta stay ready. Case in point, losing my job. Like, I have to stay ready. I can't get too comfortable. I can enjoy the moment, enjoy, the things that are going on around me and, be grateful. But I also too, in my mind, now I'm conditioned to be like, okay, like let's, while we're having fun and things are good now, let's make sure that we stay ready and we're prepared for whatever may come. And not to say that I can always be 100% prepared for every single thing that may happen, but I at least want to know that like I've done my due diligence to to prepare for the worst should it happen in any given scenario. So that to me, like, is something that, like, I remind myself of every day. Like, I pray and let God know how grateful I am for the life that He's given me. But also too, like, I pray for the things that I'll need, the tools, the resources I'll need to be prepared for when, rain comes and when the storm comes. I pray for the strength, the courage, the guidance, all of that. So I stay ready spiritually, like in my body, in my heart, in my mind, but I also stay ready like on the outside too, because you just never know. You just never know what turns life can take. And I just want to be as ready as possible. That's all. Also, too, taking care of my mind, body, and spirit is absolutely a non-negotiable for me as I enter into this new chapter. Um, and when I say that, I mean like, again, like pouring into myself spiritually, keeping that close connection with God, taking care of my body, moving my body, make sure what I'm eating is healthy, make sure I'm exercising, whether that looks like walking, going to dance, and just not letting any like outside distractions interfere with what I have going on. I just feel like that's so important. And especially as I move into my latter years, I feel like it's important for me to stay grounded. And that's the way that I feel like I keep grounded the best is when I'm taking care of myself, mind, body, and spirit. That's when I feel the most at peace. That's when I feel the most grounded. So that's that to me. To me, it was important to me before, but now it's like a non-negotiable. Like I'm not neglecting myself. I'm not neglecting my heart, my spirit, my mind, my soul. Like I'm not neglecting any of those things. I'm not neglecting my body. I'm not doing harmful things to my body. And I just want to be here for the long ride. And amen. Like I just want to be here for the long ride and I want to enjoy who I'm becoming because I know that I still have a lot of growing to do. I have a lot of healing to do. I just want to be able to enjoy what I have going on now, but also to take care and pour into myself because that's really important. And also, one thing that I've decided to do as I entered into year 40, I really want to do a better job of letting go of the past and being being grateful for the lessons and the blessings that the past brought. But I want to move in confidence into the future. I want to be hopeful for the future. I want to live for today and be grateful for all the blessings today and just be hopeful for a good future. The past is what it is and there's nothing I can do to change it, you know? So I don't want to spend my life living in the past. I don't want to relive old feelings and memories that no longer serve me. I want to keep the good memories. I want to think of the good times and what those times meant to me, like the love, the laughter, the joy, the peace, all that stuff I want to keep in my heart. But as far as letting go of the past, what I'm talking about is things that may have hurt me, situations that didn't serve me. I'll remember the lesson, and move forward with what I've learned from those experiences, but I don't want to hold on to them in my heart. I don't want to hold grudges. I don't want to, be at war with anyone because of something they may have done to me in the past. I just want to let everything go. Not forget, amen, because we don't forget, but not let it be the narrator of why we do certain things or control like why we think a certain way or do something. Like I don't want that to be my reality. I want to let the past be the past and I want to move forward into my future with confidence and taking with me those lessons that I've learned. Because don't nobody got time for grudges. Don't nobody have time for hurt feelings and things like that. Like I want to live a good life and I want my future to be good as well. So I know that in order for me to do that, I got to let some things go from the past. And that's okay. Amen. And then also too, I'm not stressing over the uncontrollables. Not anymore. Not after this whole experience that I've had with God moving through my life, with getting me a new job and, navigating me to a new relationship, the bond that I've been able to have with my kids, like all these great things happening in my life. Like I'm no longer stressing about the things that I can't control, because what I can't control, God will make sure to handle for me. And I'm more confident in that than ever. Like on this day, amen. I'm more confident than I ever have been in the fact that God will make a way. So whatever it is that I even think to stress about or I can't control, I'm going to leave it to him. And that's just going to be the reason, because I can only do what I can do and I can only control what I can control. That's right here in front of me. All the other stuff, like I have to leave it to God. And I learned that. I learned that in this season when I was just like losing back to back. Like I wasn't coming up on top. Nothing was coming up joy. And I just kept losing back to back. Now I'm like, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what comes and goes in my life. Like God's got me no matter what. I will always end up on top as long as I keep God in the center and at the forefront. Amen. So no longer stressing about things that I cannot control. Amen. And lastly, y'all, I just want to reflect on how much I've grown as a woman, as a mom. Like I think back to the younger version of me, the younger mom, the younger wife. And I love and respect that younger version of me. I cherish her and I hold her near and dear to my heart. And there's no way that I could be who I am today without her. I just think back on who I used to be and who I am now, and I'm just so grateful. I'm just so grateful that even though like I've been through some tough things, that I'm grateful that it didn't break me and it didn't destroy me. Amen. And it only made me stronger. It only gave me more courage. And I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful for young Joy, for getting through it with so much grace and still keeping love at the forefront, even though like it may not have been both ways in all the situations, still finding the silver lining in everything. Like I love that. I love that for me. Love that for us. Love that I was able to do that for so many years. And even when things got bad, like still trying to look on the bright side and still keeping a smile on my face. I'm proud of myself for that. And the way that I've raised my kids over the years too has changed. I feel like I went from being a passive mom, kind of like, you know, like hands on but hands off at the same time type of mom, to being a mom who is very hands on, very involved, very active with her kids, and not willing to compromise anything, not willing to compromise the relationship with my kids, anything like that for anything. Because there was a time where, I would put work over my kids. I got to work this overtime. So, no, I can't spend the weekend with my kids, or I'll miss out on things because I'm working, because I'm trying to make more money and I'm trying to do this and that. That'll never happen again. That'll never happen again. My kids come first in all situations. There won't be a time where I'm like, oh no, we can't do this because I got work. No, no, there won't be a time. So I know for a fact that I've grown so much as a mom, and I would dare to say that like my kids, that's one of the reasons why like my kids are so like attached to me and head over heels for me is because they've seen the growth. Like they've seen the change in me. I remember one time my daughter made a comment to me. It was a little bit after her dad had passed away, and she said, Mom, like she said, you talk a lot more now. And you speak your mind a lot more now. And she said, I like that. I think that's cool. And that just like if I could have laid down and cried right then and there, I would have. Um, but that just let me know that they're seeing the growth. They're seeing the change in me. And I'm seeing the change in me. And I've come a long way. And I'm only getting started. Amen. This is just the beginning of a beautiful chapter, a beautiful part of my life, a beautiful season, and I'm ready. I'm ready for everything that it comes with, the good, the bad, everything. I'm just ready for it. And I just feel so blessed and honored to be here. Amen. I don't know. I'm just happy. Amen. So, with that being said, mamas, I'm going to go ahead and land the plane here. Thank you so much for tuning in today. If you enjoyed today's episode, please do not forget to share it with another mom who you think would find it helpful as well. Also, too, happy birthday. Happy birthday to anyone celebrating a birthday in this Cancer season. Gang, gang. Hello. Amen. So if you're just turning 40 or you're about to be 40 or you're already in your 40s, tap in with me. How's it like, for you? How's it going? What have you realized? What things have you come to terms with as you hit this milestone year? So let me know. You can, DM me on Instagram or TikTok. I'm on both those platforms at motherhood_is ghetto. Also, too, if you're listening on Spotify, you can leave a comment under this podcast. And if you're watching on YouTube, hey mama, you can leave a comment on YouTube, but also don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel, join the hood so we can keep the conversation going. And thank you again, mamas, for tuning in. And until next time, mamas. Thank you so much for listening to today's podcast. Don't forget to follow the podcast and share with anyone who you think may enjoy it. And follow me on Instagram at motherhood_is ghetto. Also, feel free to DM me if you have any experiences, opinions, or views on motherhood you'd like me to share on the podcast. Until next time, mamas.